Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The first step in economic recovery is being taken by government offices. Also tonight, bank lines are looking a bit longer. The first batch of stimulus checks are sent out. And PSS employees will finally be getting the money they're missing. In sports, paddlers spank the lagoon for fun and fitness. These canoers are doers. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour. So that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you could go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner. Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Half a day to Uwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, May 15th, 2020. Governor Ralph Torres has renewed the declaration of public health emergency here in the CNMI. Signed today, May 15th, by Governor Torres, is a renewal of Executive Order 2020-04, Declaration of State of Public Health Emergency and Continue State of Significant Emergency, and renewal of Executive Order 2020-07 for CNMI Homeland Security and Emergency Management Office to undertake necessary COVID-19 containment measures. These orders shall remain in effect for the next 30 days.
Today, when you look at the emergency, that just tells you all of us that we are still in an emergency state. We still have expected to have a trajectory to increase up to 6,000. Even up to 8,000. We're definitely far from that. Thank you. Thank everybody for that. Yes, we are still in an emergency. We still need to do what we need to do, but everything else is still in place. But those directives will change, perhaps in a weekly basis, and it all depends on our success moving forward as a community.
It's the first step in community-focused economic recovery, reopening the CNMI government offices. Effective May 17th, Amendment to Directive 7 of the COVID-19 Emergency Directives of 2020 will take effect, where government offices will be open 4 hours a day from May 17th to May 23rd. And starting May 24th, government offices will go back to regular full-time work hours.
We'll have 4 hours working next week from 8 to 12, and then after that, the following week will be full 8 hours Monday to Thursday. This changes again with other directives. It's important that we start slow, but to understand that we do need to get back to normal, and we're trying to find what that normalcy is. just coming back to work with the other departments opening up is an adjustment in itself. We met and we discussed this with the task force to get a burn rate count on all government employees, including judicial and the legislature, so that we as the government know what is our burn rate if we set all of our government back to work.
With the target date of July 15th to reopen tourism in the CNMI, Governor says there are a lot of steps that must be taken to get to that point.
I know there's a lot of questions about July 15 with our tourism. Again, that's a target date for all of us to work on. We have a long way to go. We have just the security of our tourists coming in. We're working and having a strong discussion and a detailed discussion with our Korean market or Japanese market. I know the 14-day quarantine is still in place. What do we expect as a government, as our community, as citizens, our private partners? How do we welcome back our tourists? So that's why we set July 15th date, so that we as a community and our business partners can get adjusted in opening up our economy slowly, but in the right direction.
Governor says he will be meeting with the COVID-19 Economic Task Force on Monday, May 18th, to discuss what the next step will be in the phased approach to reopening economic activities in the CNMI. There's a common question being asked around the CNMI. Where is my stimulus check? KSPN speaks with Secretary of Finance David Adelig on how the process is coming along with getting those checks out.
Came into some snags with our direct deposit ACH transfer. Worked it out with the banks since Monday, and we were fortunate that yesterday morning it was completely transmitted. So everyone, I believe Bank of Guam and Bank of Saipan recipients received their direct deposit yesterday. Early this morning, all the other banks received their transfers. So everyone that opted in the stimulus portal received their direct deposits. As far as checks are concerned, we printed out 27,000 checks, and the last 6,000 checks were mailed first thing this morning. So if not this afternoon in their post office box, tomorrow morning.
Adelig says they are expecting 2,000 checks to be issued in the next disbursement of stimulus checks, which is scheduled to be sent out May 22nd. He says if you are not part of the first batch to receive your stimulus check, the portal will be opened back up by Monday to sign up for the direct deposit, which can be found at finance.gov.mp.
We still have another batch coming out next week, Friday. I encourage those that have not received their stimulus checks to take advantage of our stimulus portal, which we will be opening it up. We're just finalizing the programming today. Should be up this weekend, for sure Monday, and people can opt in to receive their stimulus checks via direct deposit if they did not get it in this first huge batch.
But some individuals may have issues with their tax returns that could delay receiving the stimulus check.
You have not received your stimulus checks. It's either you did not file your 2018 or 2019 yet. That's first. Second, if you have issues with your 2019 and there's verification on, let's say, your child dependent, we need to verify their Social Security, and you need to come in to show proof or show your Social Security number card for your dependent or yourself. That could be an issue. We've countered and got some phone calls regarding people that submitted their banking information in their tax return, but it was rejected by the bank. So they will be defaulted to a check on the next check run.
Adelig says to email stimulus@dof.gov.mp with any questions or concerns regarding your stimulus check, and the Department of Finance will address the situation.
There will be some people that will question their current stimulus. We used 2019 data, but if they did not submit their 2019 tax return, we defaulted and used 2018. If your 2018 income is higher, or you expect more because in 2018 you have a new dependent that filed and get the additional $500, that would be applied in your 2019 filing. And on top of that, there are some people that still can get their stimulus if they file their 2020 tax returns next year and have a lower income, which we expect in the next tax season. A lot of people will have lower salary levels that qualify for more benefits if they're making more than $75,000 today, but in their 2020 tax return, they're under that threshold. They will get stimulus at that time.
The Department of Labor is working vigorously to get the PUA and FPUC in place for residents of the CNMI. June is when the Department of Labor hopes to have the PUA and FPUC program in place so that those in the CNMI that have been affected by COVID-19 can get some financial help.
I hope that we can open by June. However, a lot of things need to happen, and I really don't want to get everyone's hopes up. We are doing our best here as a department to make sure that every time something comes in from the U.S. Department of Labor, we handle it expeditiously. For example, the CARES Act was passed on March 27th. U.S. Department of Labor requested that we sign an agreement, to implement the program. We did this 2 days later. So this is a common theme, with regards to what we're doing for the program.
The Department of Labor has been notified that some employers are canceling health insurance benefits for their employees to qualify for the PUA FPUC program. But Tebuteb says these actions are not recommended or necessary.
Within the PUA program, there are deductions that we need to consider when someone gives us supporting documentation regarding how much they made per week. And so those, as of now, again with the caveat that things may change, the insurance as of now is not accounted deduction.
Tebuteb says there is still no official word yet on if CW workers are eligible for the PUA FPUC program. Millions of dollars has been transferred over to the CNMI public school system as part of the CARES Act funds. Teachers and staff of the public school system will finally be receiving money for the Payless Paydays, as the $23.2 million has been transferred to PSS from the CARES Act funds.
We had already a pre-plan on what to do with the money. We do have to pay all of our debt, pay period 8, 9, 10. Those payroll paydays had to be paid out. Also our utilities, our insurance that we were backlogged. But with this money, we will be able to update and then some.
Commissioner Addis says plans are to get the money to PSS employees by next week.
I don't have an exact date that it will be coming, but I have a tentative date possibly next week. So besides their other paydays, they'll also get this additional payroll.
But Commissioner Addis says the drawdown must be processed before the money can be dispersed.
It is. It was in G5 yesterday, and now, and then we had to process the drawdown. So that's just giving us time between yesterday, today, and next week, Monday and Tuesday. That's making sure that all the monies are being drawn down and going to those accounts before we actually disperse the checks. We want to make sure that there's money in the account before we do anything else, before we make an announcement.
Governor Torres says the $4.8 million he is receiving from the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund from the CARES Act is going to Northern Marianas College. As of news time today, May 15th, the number of confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 in the CNMI remains at 19. The cumulative number of specimens collected through community-based drive-through testing is at 3,325. 12 individuals have recovered and 2 have died from the coronavirus in the CNMI. A release from the COVID-19 task force states individuals can now register using Governor's COVID-19 task force site at governor.gov.mp/COVID-19/testing. The site is used for the current testing schedule, locations, and available slots. And starting Monday, May 18th, COVID-19 testing will also include the islands of Tinian and Rota. For businesses that have 50 or more employees that want to get tested, contact the COVID-19 Task Force hotline at 287-0046. This will provide information on group registration. Coming up, the CNMI Census Office is providing a new way to get counted. More after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. Hi, my love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Welcome to the Marianas Eye Institute. Our office on Beach Road is staffed with U.S. certified eye care technicians, doctors that have received national recognition, and a friendly, professional staff that will look after you and your loved ones. With over 1,200 eyeglass frames to choose from and an in-house lab, we can make most glasses in about an hour, and we even feature a mobile clinic to bring eye care to you. Keep your eyes healthy and strong with professional eye care at the Marianas Eye Institute.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. CNMI legislators accept the invitation to tour the alternate care site at Kanoa Resort. Sally Lemus has more.
9 members of the CNMI legislature took the chance to visit the alternate care site facility at Kanoa Resort on Thursday. The tour was led by Justice Sablon from Halos Energy Group and Sam McFeeters from Guma Architects, who walked the legislators through each room of the facility. The lawmakers asked questions along the way and overall were impressed with the progress.
I thought the facility and the planning and the decision to do this is outstanding. It's phenomenal. Based on what we hear from the engineers and the chairman of the task force and the GAR, and of course with the property operator, it appears that the CNMI is way ahead in terms of planning on how to combat in the event that we have a spread.
I'm impressed with the size of the facility. It's bigger than what I expected, actually, and that's why I brought up the concern of an actual secondary site, permanent site, rather than expending all the amount of money just for temporary. We don't know how long it's going to last. So my concern is basically, the future beyond July, December, whatever that date is a more permanent site for the CNMI.
Chairman of the Health and Welfare Committee, Jose Itabas, shares his sentiments on making the ACS as a permanent site.
Just thinking how nice if we didn't get, that's why I asked that question over there. If we got clear on this thing, how nice if this can be turned into a government clinic facility. It's there, but I know that they said they have an agreement with the Fed on how these things would go, and with the owners of the hotel. That's something that just keep cross, something positive might come to facility, but what else could I say? I'm just impressed with the work that they've been doing. I'll just give credit to the governor and his task force committee.
Senator Jude Hofschneider says he was truly impressed with the duration of the project.
Project of this magnitude takes about a year or a little less than a year to design. They did it in a record pace. So as a result of that, this is the product. So we're very excited to see the opening of this. Although I know that it's for the invisible virus, the pandemic, but the fact that we know that there's facilities like this in the CNMI on Saipan, it brings the CNMI to a whole another level of healthcare.
The legislators were transported to the facility on quota shuttles, and Congressman Ralph Yomo shares his experience.
It's scary. It's actually scary. I had to always wipe my hand, put sanitizer, because I don't know was someone that was positive transported there. So those are all the natural reaction a human goes through, and you're even walking in here. It has an eerie feeling, especially someone passed away here, and we're actually here. So it's very very real.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Limis.
The CNMI 2020 Census Office provides other ways to get counted without disobeying government directives. Our Sally Limis has the story.
The CNMI 2020 Census Office will soon open a telephone operations center, providing another way for residents to partake in the worldwide survey. Due to the governor's directive on social distancing, people now have the option to complete the census interview through phone calls.
What we'll be doing is dropping off a notice of visit at households and giving them the option that they could call in to complete their interview on a certain day. It'll be written on the notice, and there'll be some other information on there as well if they don't want to do it in person.
According to Clyde Narita, office manager, census employees return back to work on Monday, and training for telephone operations have begun.
But our enumerators, they're going to training this week through Zoom and online for this new phase of outreach and field operation, such as the telephone protocols and so forth. And then they're all waiting for their clearance from COVID-19 testing. So we want to emphasize that our people they need to be tested. They need to come back negative on the test, aside from the revised training, additional training, and before they roll out in the field to drop off the notice of visit.
Narita says the census office is well aware of the current phone call scams taking place, and residents will be able to determine if it is an official CNMI census call.
The notice of visit process is to be visited by the census employee to your house, who will drop off the notice of visit, which contains the number that you have to call in to conduct the phone interview. So again, the reason that is that we will not be calling you initially, that you will call us on the number designated. And I want to emphasize that really, because we will have some people who take advantage of the situation, especially out here in public announcement now, that they will try to manipulate the system and through crime or effort try to steal your money or something like that. So I want to make sure that census office will never call you first.
They are also working with partnering agencies to secure enough phone lines that will accommodate multiple calls.
So we've worked with our local phone provider in the past couple of weeks. They've come in already. They've installed 22 lines. You still call the main line in, and we're going to have a full-time operator during that time period to just answer your call. And if you say you're calling because of a notice of visit, they'll transfer you to those 22 lines. And they'll be manned by our enumerators, who are supposed to be out in the field, but they'll be manning it based on a shift schedule. And we're going to operate 7 days a week, Monday to Monday, including holidays and weekends and so forth.
Face-to-face interviews are still available with field operators following proper social distancing protocols.
For the islands of Rhoda and Tinian, we're packaging all the protective equipment for our enumerators down in Rhoda and Tinian. So we're sending them out, I think tomorrow. We're sending them down to Rhoda and Tinian personnel. And eventually, they're also participating in our Zoom training. enhancement training. So it's not just Saipan; it's the islands of Florida and Tinian, and we're just in the process of figuring out the timeline for conducting the census up in the Northern Islands too, which is it has to be done.
For more information, you may call the census office or visit their Facebook page. Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Limis.
Coming up inside the KSPN2 Sports Report, a look at a most Pacific sport.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour. So that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes? So I'll turn it back on after dinner. Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the most Pacific sport of all is Va'a, or outrigger canoe racing. It's a popular fixture at every Pacific Games and Micronesian Games. Well, it's been going on here for decades. Here's a look. 9 sports were offered at the very first Micro Olympics on Saipan back in 1969. And one of those was outrigger canoe racing. The 6-person canoe event was also included in the 1990 and 2006 Micro Games on Saipan. Outrigger canoe racing is also held at every Pacific Games. The world's best paddlers, they usually come from the Pacific. Last summer at the Pacific Games in Samoa, Stephen Goodwin lost to Kevin Jerusalem from Tahiti. He's the world's #1 ranked paddler, and Stephen will never forget that because that was how he celebrated his 18th birthday. But Va'a is not on the short list for the next Pacific Mini Games on Saipan as of now. That, despite Saipan having a world-class venue, very few places in the world have a readily accessible lagoon as nice as Saipan. But the venue is not the issue. Former Pacific Games paddler Jason Tarkong says it's a matter of money.
It's financial. It costs a lot of money, especially if you want to be the top teams to include Tahiti and all the other high Polynesian teams when it comes to that. So that and it's expensive. I think a minimum of $100,000 just to get them down here.
There are 2 ways to measure success in this sport. One, external, the clock. The other, internal, the heart.
So it's all going to come down to the time that they finish and the points as well.
And what they have inside, the resolve, the resolution, the determination to succeed, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Something about just being in a canoe race is exhilarating, no matter what place you come in.
I think everybody's doing really good. It's kind of
Even last place?
last place, yeah.
Kagman High's coach, Peter Aldon, relishes the opportunity to share his passion with the new generation. Look at this day. I cannot. It's almost like God said high schools are supposed to have outrigger canoes part of their curriculum.
It could have been God. I think it's also our ancestors that said that. I think that's what it is. It's just a connection between the past and the present, right? Earlier before we set up today to launch, we had the nanny and the other one on there, right? And just the beauty of seeing that perpetuation of culture, seeing that the rejuvenation of bringing that back. So that's the one. That's the one that really gets us in the water. Connection again to the ancestors, connection to our culture, right? Whether all throughout Micronesia, all throughout Polynesia. It's there. It's present. We're surrounded by water. This should be the sport of the islands, right? It should be.
Some people try paddling for a while. A select few people stick to it for a long time. Justin Andrew, president of the Saipan Paddling Club, has been doing it since 1993.
And I used to be like skinny like this.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah. So to see all these kids out here, this is 2020. You're talking about 27 years ago you started, and to see all these kids, and for a lot of them, it's the first time. How would you just sum it up for us? How do you think these kids are feeling today?
I think the kids are doing very well. Looking at the quality of the coaching, the modern way of doing things, it just has been evolved so much over the years.
It's all about skill building.
Use this on the little kids.
Think about it the way Tarkong does.
So let me ask you this. You have a choice, okay? You're gonna work out. You got an hour to work out. Are you gonna do it in a sweaty gym where it's crowded, you gotta wait in line, and you're worried about the coronavirus? Or are you gonna go out there? Look there. That is, the ocean is our playground.
That's probably the remedy out there, yeah?
Seriously. I can wash my hands, I can topple, I can do everything out there. I don't have to worry about coming in and everything.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
So what are you going to do this year? At Gold's, a dedicated fitness studio with a cushioned floor is perfect for group exercise. The cardio room features a variety of treadmills, bikes, steppers, and ellipticals. Fitness machines will help you achieve your goals, and the largest free weight area on Saipan gives you comfortable space to work out. Gold's Gym team is ready to help you get to your goals. Try harder. We know you can do it.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures at Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com, and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. On this day in 1981, Mount Poggen erupted, sending 51 people fleeing to a cave for their safety and blanketing Saipan with ash. The Humanities Council has a video posted on YouTube called This Day in NMI History, Eruption of Mount Poggen. Check it out. The Marianas remains in a severe drought, which is expected to continue until mid-June. All right, today's high temperature 90, that ties the highest high of 2020. The low 81, that's the highest low we've had all year. Heat index 101, humidity 62%. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, isolated showers here and there. East winds 10 to 15, high 88, low 78, seas 3 to 5 feet. Sunrise 5:48, low tide 10:14, high tide 2:51, and a beautiful sunset at 6:38. That is your Friday news, sports, and weather. Have a great weekend. See you back here Monday night.